Valley Talk on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
Welcome to Valley Talk. It's going to be a beautiful day. I almost feel like singing Mr. Rogers' song. It's going to be a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? Because outside right now, it is absolutely gorgeous. What's it supposed to be at 75 degrees or so today?
I got shorts on.
It's summertime in the city. All these songs kind of coming off my head. It's springtime. Flowers are blooming. It's Oregon. Hey, this is why we live here, isn't it?
There's still snow on Mary's Peak over here. Isn't that amazing? And you know, you're from Benton, so you know why we have Mary's River and Mary's Peak here. The founder of Corvallis, I forget his name. I just choke on it all the time, but his wife was named Mary. So that's why we have Mary's Peak and Mary's River and that sort of thing.
Well, welcome to Valley Talk. We've got a busy show for you today. We have our average investment guy, John Gibson, and one of the things we'll talk about is that erroneous or the hacked tweet from the Associated Press that said the White House was attacked in the stock market.
Amazing?
Is that incredible?
And it affected the market. The market dropped 100 points, they said, and I saw it this morning, but and it was just a rumor. And so that's just how fragile everything is. I mean, something that simple and that not even confirmed changes the market. So
we'll talk about that and more with stock market news with John here in a minute. Let's tell you what's going on with the show today. We were originally going to be at the Four Seasons Farmers Market. One of the challenges we had because of a scheduling issue, yesterday we had to reschedule the show a bit because of earlier commitments I have during this morning. We weren't able to get over there soon enough to set up our remote equipment because we want to do a remote show. So we won't be doing remote shows on Tuesday because of meeting schedules I have earlier in the morning on Tuesdays. So we have scheduled the Farmers Market show for Monday, May the 6th. And that's where it's going on with that show. As we look at today's show, and by the way, thank you for listening to Valley Talk. It says, don't you love phones? 23, there we go.
You can't see this on the radio, but he's over there with his smartphone just doing all sorts of stuff.
The show has gotten very popular, and we're busy booking guests. Today we're going to be Linn Benton Food Bank and Pat Cookson with the American Cancer Society. She's going to be talking to us about Relay for Life in the second half of the show. After we get done talking with John, we'll be talking to Ryan McCambridge of Linn Benton Food Share. Be listening for promos, and if you missed the show and want to catch up on it, catch replays on our website, KGAL.com. We do want to remind you that Quiznos is our sponsor, one of our sponsors here on Valley Talk, and at the end of every show, we give away a $10 gift certificate for Quiznos. Taste on us at the Quiznos Albany location right next to Novak's Restaurants, across the parking lot from the former G.I. Joe Sporting Goods location. Dale and the crew there, I eat lunch there every day. Love the Philly steak cheese sandwich.
And they toast them. And there really is a free lunch. See, you really can have a free lunch.
$10. And you can even take your buddy.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is sign up, send me an email, dave@kgal.com, or call the station at 451-KGAL or 926-KGAL. Somebody's going to walk away with lunch on us, taste on us, Quiznos. Dale, thank you for doing all you do, for being a part of the Valley Talk family. So go ahead and submit your entries now. Second half of the show again, Linn Benton Food Share. How appropriate as we're talking about food. And the last half of the show, the Relay for Life with the American Cancer Society will be the topics of today's Valley Talk. And again, May 6th will be where we'll be at the Four Seasons Farmers Market.
Sad, we almost all of us know somebody who's survived or endured cancer and didn't survive. I mean, that's a very serious subject and
touched everybody.
Yeah.
The big C. It's the word that strikes fear into a lot of people. You know, they go for their checkup, and that's one word they do not want to hear. You know, we found something suspicious, and we need to take a little bit of look at that. You always take a little bit of a,
oh boy. I mean,
oh boy.
There's no atheists in foxholes or emergency rooms.
There you go.
There's just not. And, you know, we were talking earlier about society and how, you know, Philomath has a graffiti problem and things like that. And it just seems like the further away that we get from our fundamental basis of, you know,
faith in God,
and that things are based on God, and our rights come from God, not from somebody telling us what rights are. They come from a God. I don't care who your God is. You know, even if you don't have a God, you still have something to hang your hat on. You know, but those of us who do, I don't know, wish for those older times when things were safer and,
had a little bit more respect for one another.
Yeah.
Weren't painting signs on people's
I'll give you a simple
overpasses.
example. I used to stop all the time for broken down cars, women broken down along the road. And when I was 18, 20, back in the 70s and 80s, it was like, thank you, you replaced, you fixed, put my tire back, you put the spare tire on, here's $5, and you'd never take the money. Now you stop and I see fear. And so now I just call the sheriff and I say, you have a car broken down with a woman in it at milepost whatever on Highway 34 or whatever, that's how things have changed. And that's what I've experienced. So
yeah,
I don't think it's a good thing.
Let's talk about the stock market. First of all, interesting. And I think one of the stories that I've been interested in, because I love the internet, like technology news and so on and so forth, the technology war that I believe is being waged underground or on the internet from China and other countries that are wanting to attack the United States. I think they're over there trying to hack our stuff. And one of the things that was hacked today, I don't know who did it, they don't know who did it, was a tweet from the Associated Press saying that the White House has been attacked.
Yeah.
And then the market reacts, everybody reacts. We're so involved in social media, all these different notifications, smartphones and so on and so forth. That's one of, and they're trying to seed these events that really didn't happen. And it's amazing that we're seeing this, I guess a few years ago, they called it psych war, or, we would do the same thing in Vietnam. We dropped leaflets. Well, this is the version of that today, is they just send out these tweets that are erroneous to just trying to shake us up a bit.
And the stock market dropped. Nobody ran to the TV to check Fox News or any other news channel to see if wouldn't that be on TV if it really had happened? But no, it just, it was a rumor, and it just happened like that. That happens a lot on Wall Street. If you listen to things, a company will come out with a rumor that they're being bought out, and so their stock price, of course, is going to go way up. So people will just come running in and buy that stock, and then the rumor is false, and the stock falls, and everybody loses money. But this one got everybody's attention because it was so public. But yeah, these things happen, and that's how fragile the market is. And so I always try to teach new phrases. Dead cat bounce is always my favorite. But climbing the wall of worry is a popular phrase on Wall Street to explain why things can be so jumbled and so confused, and yet we're up 140 points right now.
So what does that mean? What does it mean to climb the wall of worry?
It means even though we have all these things going on, like North Korea and Iran and Syria and the Boston bomber and all that kind of stuff, earnings are still coming in pretty darn good. And that's all that Wall Street cares about. But what we're seeing is earnings per share is coming in above expectations, but the revenues, the amount of money that the companies are receiving, are coming in lower. Gross receipts, I guess it would be gross receipts.
Sure.
So we have that disconnect of where companies are gaining productivity either through technology or laying people off, which is very unfortunate. But they're not getting the business revenue coming in on the bottom side. Like IBM was a great example. So we're not seeing dynamic business going on. We're seeing cost cutting going on. And then China came out last week and said that their economy has slowed. So we saw a big drop in gold. We saw a big drop in oil. And the idea is, the theory is that the world economy is now on a slow decline. And that's very unfortunate because, we've used up a lot of our bullets that the Fed can use. And the next wall of worry for Wall Street is Ben Bernanke, the Federal Reserve Chief. His term expires in January 2014. And he was asked about that, and his response was, well, anybody could do this job, which kind of indicates that he doesn't want to re-up. So now we have to think about a new Federal Reserve Chief coming in who's going to take over through 3/4 of the ball game. And, how is he going to handle that? Bernanke's big thing was he was an expert on the Great Depression. And what happened in the Great Depression, when things got bad like they did for us 5 years ago, the Fed tightened and drove interest rates up. And that just exacerbated the problem. That's why they were dumping all this money in. But at this point, we have to stop. The stock market's going, whoa, this is out of control now. But earnings are still coming in. So as long as they can still make earnings, things are going to keep going up. So it's a question of when do you jump off the wave before it hits the beach.
Overall, the stock market today up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Things are pretty good.
Netflix is up $43. Netflix, this company that got hammered by the red box. You see those red boxes everywhere?
Yes.
Man, Netflix got killed by that company. And now they added 2 million subscribers last quarter, and now their stock is up $43. Now it's $220 or so.
Well, you know why that is? You want me to tell you why that
Sure.
is? I can tell you why that is. I received in the mail some mysterious benefactor. I don't know who it is. If somebody is listening, I got a Roku device, and there was mailed to me. So I called the chain store that sent it to me, and I said, I didn't order this. They said, I know. Somebody else sent it to you as a gift, and they wouldn't tell me who it was. And so, well, what do you do with this thing? Well, plug it in and watch TV. So
really?
So it was a $50 Roku. Whoever, if you're listening and you send it to me, thank you very much. So it wasn't ticking or anything. It didn't blow up. I've watched it now for several months. And anyway, so one of the things that's on it, and so you turn it on, it's this little tiny box, and you can watch streaming movies on it. And one of the options of all the several options in there, you can even go onto your Facebook and watch your Facebook on TV, is Netflix. And so for $8 a month, you watch unlimited movies. And so my fiance and I, we've watched tons of movies. So instead of paying $1 at the red box, we go do that.
Right.
And so
you get unlimited movies, right?
Yeah, for $8.
I see.
So that's why they're going up, because there's lots of people like me. So yeah.
Well, let's figure this out. Maybe Netflix sent you that box.
I don't know.
I mean, it worked.
Sure did.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll have to send a bill to Netflix or Roku for this advertising that we just did for them on Valley Talk.
Yeah. Well,
that's why their earnings are up, because we love it. It's great.
It worked. Yeah. So for whatever reason, they added 2 million subscribers. So maybe that's it. Yeah.
Interesting. We need to move along here. A couple things we want to talk about. One of the things we want to talk about is Honor Flight: One Last Mission. It's a movie documentary about World War II veterans that are taken back to Washington, D.C. They can't afford to go, but they're getting old now, mid-80s, mid-90s. And One Last Mission refers to the fact that we want to take them back, or a number of volunteers all across the country. There's about 114 hubs that are coordination centers looking for veterans, looking for donations of people that will pay the $1,000 to send a World War II veteran back to Washington, D.C. to see the World War II memorial in D.C. And to see it's paying honor to these World War II veterans while they're still alive to recognize it. You can go to a website, honorflightthemovie.org. And there are 2 showings of this documentary. There was a film company I believe in the Midwest, that made a documentary about 4 World War II veterans that went back to D.C. They made a movie about it. It's a great movie. In fact, it's Guinness Book of World Records for the largest screening ever for the most people that watched the screening when it was released for preview screening. Amazing movie. I've seen the trailer, haven't seen the movie yet. Looking forward to it. We are going to have 2 showings here in the Mid-Willamette Valley as a fundraiser for Mid-Willamette Valley World War II veterans to go back to Washington, D.C. The hub that controls this area is in Eugene. And we're going to be having 2 showings. One, May 18th, Armed Forces Day in downtown Albany at the Pix Theater. And that's going to be a 1 p.m. showing, May 18th. May 25th, the following Saturday, also 1 p.m. at the River Center in Lebanon. Tickets are $10 each. And all of the costs have been covered for the license to show the movie, so every dime of the ticket sales goes to pay for World War II veterans from the Mid-Willamette Valley to go on an honor flight. 200-seat capacity at the Pix. I'm told 800 at the River Center, which is 1,000. So if we sell tickets at $10 each, that's $10,000. All of that money goes to pay for veterans to go back to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
We sell all the tickets. That's 10 veterans from this area that we send back to Washington, D.C.
Boy.
Amazing movie. Do encourage you to see it. May 18th is a preview or a showing at the Pix. May 25th at the River Center. Buy your tickets now at the Lebanon Chamber of Commerce, $10 each. for the Lebanon showing at the River Center. And then you can buy tickets right now at the Pix Theater and then also at Bircham's Metals. I know right now there's tickets at Bircham's Metals in Albany. And you can buy tickets at Bircham's Metals for either showing. And then you can buy tickets at the Lebanon Chamber for the Lebanon showing. And
what a generation.
On. Check it out. We won't play it today. We played it yesterday. But honorflightthemovie.org, I believe, is the website address. Amazing movie. Hats off to, if you're a veteran, thank you for your service. If you're a World War II veteran, you are the greatest generation, and you saved the world from tyranny. We want to honor you. One of the ways we honor you is by watching this movie. Free Think Media, who put this documentary together, one of the things that they're really pushing is that young people watch this movie because they want to make sure that young people understand the sacrifice that World War II veterans made and what, fighting in the Battle of the Bulge and other.
And Rosie the Riveter. Let's not forget the females who filled our factories and built the planes and drew black lines on the back of their legs so that they could act like they were wearing hose, right? Because they didn't have pantyhose for the war. I mean, we are so spoiled. I am just so. I drive down the street and I just see people that just have no idea what sacrifice means. And then you see these old veterans, and man, I tell you that they're my heroes.
Yeah. World's Greatest Generation. Honor Flight, the movie, May 18th, 1 p.m. Pix Theater, Albany, May 25th, 1 p.m. River Center, Lebanon. Tickets, Lebanon Chamber of Commerce, Bircham's Metals in Albany, and also at the Pix Theater. More to come as we watch... the ticket sales are starting right now. Buy your tickets now. We're pre-selling tickets to those locations. And again, every dime from ticket sales goes to the Mid-Willamette Valley hub of Honor Flight for Willamette Valley veterans to go back to D.C.
Good for them.
So you want to honor a local veteran, this is a way to do it. Enjoy the movie, hear their story, and donate to Honor Flight. Great organization. And we need to do it fast because we're losing 1,000 of these World War II veterans across the country every day because they're in the mid-80s, mid-90s. So Honor Flight, support it.
It's the least we could do.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to Ryan McCambridge of Linn Benton Food Share about what's going on for feeding the hungry here in the Mid-Willamette Valley. This is Valley Talk, and we will be right back.
The Linn County Expo Center in Albany presents a new event just for you. Showcasing Northwest artisans is the Mid-Valley Market on Saturday, May 4th and Sunday, May 5th. Homemade, homegrown, crafters from Linn County and around the state. Pick up a unique gift for Mom. Other gifts are something special for your home or garden. Admission is only $2 for 13 and above. Free for the little ones. Parking is free too. For info, log on to lcfairexpo.com. The Mid-Valley Market, Saturday, May 4th and Sunday, May 5th. Linn County Expo Center, Albany.
There's no mixing or matching, no climbing or chipping. In fact, there's no sweat at all when Fitzpatrick Painting makes your home look like $1 million. Whether you need a touch-up or the whole enchilada, your home deserves the quality, award-winning services of Fitzpatrick Painting. For inside or outside, the time is now to get a free estimate. More details and testimonials at fitzpatrickpainting.com.
Fitzpatrick Painting, unsurpassed in customer service and quality.
Hi, this is Shannon Jones of Jones 5 Auto Sales on 9th Street in Corvallis. I'd like to invite you to stop by and see our great selection of quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. If you stop by after business hours, my upfront pricing makes it easy to shop and compare. I believe you should not have to ask for the price of a vehicle. It should be listed. Every vehicle is AutoCheck certified, passed by extensive safety and performance inspection. Print out both reports from your home by going online at jones5auto.com. Jones 5 Auto Sales on 9th Street in Corvallis. You'll love the way I do things.
Cascade West Senior Services Foundation is back again with the Live Well, Age Well Health Expo Saturday, May 18th from 9 to 3. Free admission, free health screening, medication consultants resources at the Linn County Fair and Expo Center. If your business would like to participate, booth space is still available. Log on to agingwellexpo.org or call Jill Ingalls at 541-497-7481. Booths are on a first-come, first-pay basis. Space is limited, so call now. Special price on nonprofits.
Learn how to stay healthy after 50 at the Live Well, Age Well Health Expo. Shots are fired. Do you know what to do? We know two guys who really know how to handle this and many other high-stress situations. Coming to the Albany Phoenix Inn this Saturday, the 27th, beginning at 9 a.m. A veteran Navy SEAL, along with a former State Department contractor and retired federal supervisor, are presenting a one-day training, making you eligible to carry a concealed firearm in 36 states. It's not your ordinary concealed carry class. These guys are very experienced and know what they're talking about. They'll discuss situational awareness, how to recognize a potential active shooter, and what to do if you're caught up in one of these situations. In-depth discussions on use of force options and even what to expect after a shooting. In fact, many of their previous attendees already have their concealed carry permits. They have trained combat veterans in addition to ordinary citizens who just want to be able to protect themselves. It's only $85. Very well worth it. But you have to make reservation now for this rare opportunity. So call 541-733-6698. That's 541-733-6698.
Clarity over agreement. Expect it from Dennis Prager, weekday mornings at 9 on Smart Talk 1580.
Welcome back to Valley Talk, and glad to have you with us today. On the phone line with us is Ryan McCambridge, Linn Benton Food Share. Ryan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing outstanding. The weather's cooperating finally.
Beautiful weather today, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the need for feeding the hungry in the Linn Benton County. And I understand you're also involved with overseeing food banks all around the state of Oregon, aren't you?
Right. Oregon is kind of unique in that we have a partnership among all the regional food banks that serve the entire state, and it's been that way since the early 80s. And Oregon's one of the few states where the food banks actually coordinate activities, help one another out, and it takes that cooperation so that we can meet the demands for emergency food, which, as you can imagine, have been on the rise astronomically since 2008 and the Great Recession. And in fact, just looking at some of the numbers statewide, since 2008, emergency food requests have been up 41% since 2008.
One of the things that people look at as an economic indicator is the need out there. How many people are going hungry? Have we plateaued, or are we still seeing more and more people being added to the roles of the hungry, if we could call it that?
Right. Surprisingly enough, we're still seeing increases year over year. For the state, the statewide average has gone up 9% year over year, and here in Linn and Benton counties, it's at a 7% increase. So the numbers, even though it seems unbelievable at times, continue to rise for emergency food requests.
So is this creating a perfect storm scenario in that the need is escalating, but in fact we've seen in many cases people that have been donating to charitable causes are in fact standing in the line now? Has there been a growing disconnect between the income you're getting and the number of people you want to help or need to help?
Well, we live in a fantastic two-county region. We enjoy just incredible support from both individuals and companies, organizations throughout the two counties. So we're in, a really great community to live in. But you're right, in terms of large donations from corporations, those have been on a steady decline. But what we have explored to get more food resources is more local resources, and that's what our Food Rescue and Fresh Alliance programs specifically target. And they go out, so we send out a dedicated driver and truck to local grocery stores and OSU dining halls and collect what is fresh, perishable foods, and then get that right out to the food banks. It's a relatively new concept in food banking. It's a little bit more expensive than the typical canned food, but it's certainly more nutritious, and it's been one of the few growth areas for food that we've seen.
Are you able to meet the need?
Well, that's always the question. Again, because of phenomenal support from individuals and companies, organizations here, we're able to go out and purchase the foods that we do need. But again, these increased numbers are at a point where we're not sure if it's sustainable. If they don't start to plateau and come down, there's no way that we can continue at this level. And that's why both here in Linn and Benton counties and statewide, we try to work not only on the immediate needs for food that folks need, but also looking at some long-term solutions that will address some of the systemic problems that force folks to the emergency food box line.
Yeah, this is John Gibson. One thing I'd like to point out, having been a volunteer at the food banks, on the local level, it's just unpaid volunteers who go down and carry the food out for the people. A lot of these are elderly folks that really, can't carry the boxes and stuff like that. So I would like to give a shout out to the volunteers because they give their time every Friday afternoon. And if I had more time, I would still be doing it. But it was a pleasure.
Yeah, and volunteers, without volunteers, this system wouldn't work. It wouldn't work here in Linn and Benton counties. It wouldn't work throughout the state. Volunteers that are actually on the front lines at the local food pantry or, helping out at the soup kitchens, they make it possible. And it's, there's nothing forcing them to do it other than they know it's the right thing to do to help out their neighbors. And, we can't say enough good things about our volunteers.
Let's quantify. This is Dave Adams, once again, Valley Talk host. Let's quantify the problem a little bit. Let's talk about numbers of the people that you're serving. How many people are you serving in a given time frame, if we could look both statewide and here in Linn and Benton County?
Mm-hmm. Statewide, 270,000 individuals per month will eat from an emergency food box. Over a third of that 270 are children. And in Linn and Benton counties, we're at, again, all-time highs, averaging about 13,000 plus per month seeking emergency food.
Are we seeing that continuing to increase?
Yeah, that number continues to go up, as unbelievable as it is. And, there's a host of factors. Unemployment is still relatively high versus the rest of the nation. Rents, health insurance costs continue to force a lot of folks to the emergency food box line. And even if folks do have jobs, those wages just aren't enough oftentimes to stretch the family budget to meet all of the needs.
This is John Gibson again. Funding-wise, we're seeing the state go through some budget planning, and right now we seem to be stable, but they're saying come 2014-15, we're going to have a real crisis budget-wise. So how is your funding, and where does your funding come from, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, our funding comes from quite diverse quilt of funding areas. We are currently, the statewide network is encouraging the state to increase, it's called the Oregon Hunger Response Fund. It started out a number of years ago as a little bit of money to essentially repack frozen vegetables, and it's increased. Last biennium, we received $2.2 million for the entire state for this Oregon Hunger Response Fund. We're currently encouraging the state to increase that by $375,000 per year over the next biennium. And what that allows each regional food bank in the state to do is capacity building. It allows us to do the Fresh Alliance program that I spoke about earlier and some linkage activities. So it's not just going out and getting food, but it's also linking clients with other services that they might not know about. And we think the Oregon Response Fund is just crucial to our efforts because it does allow us the flexibility to do all these things when funding sources from private donations and sometimes individual donations continue to be a struggle, especially in rural parts of the state.
One of the things that I've heard on both sides now, I've heard from talking to some business people and folks that talk to businesses, is they're noticing that business is improving, increasing just a bit, but we're seeing here that the numbers that you're telling us are continuing to rise as far as the people going hungry. That seems to be part of a disconnect. Is this maybe people's perception is different? I guess the bottom line question is the economy improving? Are we going up, or are we coasting along the bottom? We're going down.
Right. Well, and I think food banks lag a little bit in the recovery. So when a recession hits, we see folks starting to come in early because those folks are seeing the early parts of seeing their hours cut or wages cut. But then when the economy starts picking up, we're sort of lagging behind that as well, because a lot of wealth since 2008 has been lost. A lot of folks had to move in with combined households and are just trying to dig out from where they were over the last several years. So I do think that generally I see some positive signs economically, but the folks that we serve, both the extremely poor but also the folks that were right on the edge, it's going to take them a while to get back to a situation where they don't need that emergency food.
Another question, you mentioned about dealing with the systemic issues or root causes of why they might be going hungry. How are you going in that? What's being done? What are you seeing?
Yeah, so actually, Oregon Food Bank received one of the first awards from Feeding America about an innovative approach on linking up food banks, local businesses, local agriculture, and seeing how we can all help one another strengthen the local food economy and try to create some sort of economic development as well. So that was a really encouraging thing. And Oregon Food Bank continues to host these events throughout the states. We do hope that increases. And we're looking at other policy changes at the state, be it the state homeless assistance program. One thing that might be attractive to farmers here locally is the crop donation subtraction that we're asking the legislature to take a look at. And essentially it allows farmers to recoup some of the costs that they incur in harvesting crops so that they can then donate it. It would both help the farmer, obviously, but it also would help food banks meet the demands.
Okay. How can people help as we wrap up this section of the show? If people want to get engaged, they've heard the interview, maybe they're thankful that they still have a job and still have money in the bank and food on the table, and they want to help others. How do they do that?
Right. Well, the first thing is on May 11th is the Postal Carriers Food Drive. That's the largest single food drive that we have. It happens nationwide, and as long as the Postal Carriers continues to have service on Saturday, it looks like it's going to continue. But that's a great way to get involved right away. But then, quite honestly, the other factors are come in, volunteer either at a local agency or Linn Benton Food Share, and contribute either through the food drive or monetarily. The monetary donations are the most effective way, because then we can go out, purchase truckload quantities, get the absolute best price, and also get the foods that we need to make up a really healthy, nutritious food box.
John, do you have any more questions?
It's so easy. You can make these things fun. Like as a volunteer, I do Meals on Wheels because I like talk radio. If you're got some free time, you can go down and hand out food. You can talk to people. You can drive around and deliver food. Volunteerism is more rewarding for the volunteer, I think, than for the people who are receiving the stuff. So I would just encourage anyone with any special time, any free time, to go down and do something fun. Just go down to the senior center and hang out.
Right, and we also have Linn Benton Food Share does an open house the last Thursday of every month, where we just have the staff come out to our warehouse, and it's open to the public. Anybody that wants to show up, and we'll put them to work.
Brian, if somebody wants to contact Linn Benton Food Share, how do they do that?
Yeah, phone number for Linn Benton Food Share, 541-752-1010. And we also have a website and Facebook page. You can just type in Linn Benton Food Share, and that'll get you either one.
All righty. Ryan, thank you very much for being with us on Valley Talk. Looking forward to visiting with you in the future, and thank you for all you do to help feed the hungry across the state here in the Linn Benton County area.
Yeah, we appreciate it very much. And again, we live in a great community that supports us and allows us to do this important work.
And you have a great day. Thanks for being with us on Valley Talk.
All right. Thank you.
We are Valley Talk. I'm Dave Adams. Thank you to Quiznos for being a part of the show. Don't forget to submit your entries to Quiznos Taste on Us, $10 gift certificate we're going to give away at the end of the show. Send me an email, dave@kgal.com, or call the station at 451-KGAL, 926-KGAL. At the end of the show, we're going to pull somebody's name out of the hat, and maybe you will be going and eating lunch because the taste is on us. Quiznos Albany, next to Novak's Restaurant and across the parking lot from the former G.I. Joe Sporting Goods location. When we come back, we are going to be talking to Pat Cookson of the American Red Cross about
Cancer Society.
Cancer Society, sorry. American Cancer Society about Relay for Life. There's going to be one in Lebanon and Albany?
Correct.
Okay. This is Valley Talk, and we'll be right back.
The Osgood File, sponsored in part by LifeLock, not only guarding your identity, your good name, and credit, but also monitoring your bank accounts for takeover fraud. That's something no other identity theft protection service does. Find out more at lifelock.com. This is Charles Osgood. Earlier, our CBS News colleague Lee Cowan introduced us to Jackie Hooper, who invites people to send expressions of regret, too late for those they were intended for.
All intimate, all important, but for one reason or another, were things never said out loud. It's the missed opportunities, when we could have acted but didn't, that sometimes are the most haunting.
Most of us would like to say something we failed to, or take something back, as you'll hear after this. The IRS issued an identity theft alert to the millions of Americans who pay taxes, including many of my listeners. Here's former Mayor Rudy Giuliani with a LifeLock identity theft alert.
As a mayor and former federal prosecutor, fighting crime has always been my mission. Now I'm taking on identity theft. The problem has become such a global concern, you can no longer think it will never happen to you. I protect myself with LifeLock Ultimate, and you should too.
Consumers beware. Identity thieves know that virtually everything they need to steal your identity and even your life savings is on your tax forms. Do what Mayor Giuliani did and do what I did. Arm yourself with LifeLock Ultimate. Visit lifelock.com for details and use my last name, Osgood, to get a special 10% discount. Or call LifeLock and mention Osgood. 1-800-838-9470. That's 1-800-838-9470. This is important. So, one more time, 1-800-838-9470.
Network does not cover all transactions and scope may vary.
Professor Neil Rose of Northwestern University has been studying regret for 20 years.
The things that are left undone tend to be more powerful and longer lasting, especially if we think about words unsaid, things that we wish we had told a loved one before it was too late. These tend to last a long time because they invite our imagination to fill in the blanks in innumerable ways.
Here are a few things people wish they had said, or wish they hadn't.
I'm so sorry that I cried when you told me you were pregnant. I'm so sorry I said that you ruined your wedding.
They are from mothers who regret fighting with their daughters.
I felt so bad that I too had laughed and made fun of your act, along with a lot of other kids.
Or from bullies who now regret their bullying.
I know that I'm a better person today from the lesson I learned, but still wish I had done better when I was 17 years old.
Someone named Debbie Dodds sent Jackie Hooper her own missed opportunity, but says the real lesson in all of this.
I think anytime you have the chance to tell somebody that they've made an impact on your life, you need to take that opportunity, and you need to make the opportunity.
That's something we should all do before it's too late. The Osgood File. Charles Osgood on the CBS Radio Network.
Tougher than a $2 steak is one way to describe toughness, but what's tougher than talking tough is actually being tough. Like Kubota's B3200 tractor from Linn, Benton Tractor. It's equipped with a premium 4-cylinder, 32-horsepower Kubota diesel engine, mid-PTO, and a hydrostatic transmission. You can see the B3200 at Linn, Benton Tractor's new location on McLean Street in Silverton, or as always along Highway 99E in Tangent.
The Boys and Girls Club of the Greater San Am supports 3,000 kids a year. Yee! Engaged in high-impact programs, and your support is needed to keep these programs going. So help us out by cowboying up for kids at the Wild West Auction, Saturday, May 4th, at the Lebanon Elks Lodge. Silent auction at 4 p.m., dinner at 6, and the live auction starts at 7:30. Whether you can get there or not, call 541-258-7105 for more information on how you can support the Boys and Girls Club of the Greater San Am and the youth of Lebanon and Sweet Home.
After 10 years of renting in North Albany, my wife and I recently purchased a new home in town. After the tough job of moving, it meant that our old place had to be thoroughly cleaned. Hi, I'm Brian Holman from Eads Broadcasting. We knew we were lacking energy to do the big job right, so I called TM Janitors to do it. It was a good decision because they came at the time we needed, the job was done right, and the place smells fantastic. Call TM Janitors for your home or business. Myrna and her crew will impress, no doubt about it. Call 541-570-9711.
Want to really know more? Just point, click, and learn from the Mid-Valley's best website, KGAL.com.
Welcome back to Valley Talk. With us on this portion of the show, Pat Cookson of the American Cancer Society here in the Linn, Benton County area.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us today. Let's talk about Relay for Life.
One of my favorite events. And we're really fortunate. We have a relay here in the Albany area and also one in Lebanon.
If people have heard about this, don't really know what it is, but they keep hearing it in the news, maybe they've never been to a relay event, what happens?
Well, there's a lot of good things that happen. It is an overnight event. The reason being that we know that cancer doesn't stop at 5 o'clock when everybody goes home. It does continue through the night, and so we want to represent that. We also have at each event a wonderful survivor celebration and victory lap. We encourage all survivors are welcome to come out. It's free of charge. We also have what we call a luminaria ceremony, and that usually happens later as it gets darker. And these are white bags that are lit in honor or in memory of someone who is either battling or has lost the battle to cancer. And it's extremely emotional to walk around the track at night and look at the bags and read the messages. You kind of get to know people that way. So those are two of the best things that we have as a part of Relay. The rest of it is a great community effort of people from all walks of life coming together. There are fun activities going on. There are messages about how to be a little healthier. This year in Albany, we are extremely honored to be offering Cancer Prevention Study number 3. We will actually be enrolling people as a part of that study. It's an opportunity for all of us locally to be involved in a research study at the ground level, so to speak. And they will be followed for 20 to 30 years. And if you just kind of get a chance to be a part of history.
What are they studying?
It will be a part, it's kind of building on the other studies which are talking about how lifestyles, if there's a way that we can say, who knows what that's going to be, if there's a way to say people who do some type of activity or live their life in a certain way are more prone to get cancer, that's the kind of thing that they're looking for.
I guess I've always viewed the Relay for Life as like, we're all afraid of cancer. I mean, let's be honest. When we go to the doctor for our checkups, we're so grateful when we walk out that everything's okay. This is a way of everybody getting together and kind of like growling at the beast, I mean, everybody gets together where there's a camaraderie of feelings and emotions, and it's like you're not alone at that time. It's so comforting to be, because we all know somebody, who either won or lost, and bless their heart if they won. But to me, it was just a thing of, everybody else feels the same sort of thing, and that gives me comfort tomorrow night when I'm by myself to know that there's a group of people out there who are basically together with me.
You're exactly right. Because one of the things we look at is it's celebrating our cancer survivors, it's remembering those that we've lost, but it's also fighting back against the disease that touches so many of our lives. And it's doing that as part of a community effort.
How does this raise money? Do they raise money per lap or is just a donation?
Normally it's just a donation. We have teams. We have 40-plus teams right now who will be camping out overnight. It's at South Albany High School this year and for Albany and East Linn Academy in Lebanon. And they will be camping out overnight. They have a lot of fun activities planned, but they do a lot of fundraisers up until and through the event. And so the relay itself is kind of the celebration of all that work throughout the year. And so you'll see, and it's well known, documented, that relayers are a little bit crazy.
Do you know Rebecca Grizzle?
Pardon me?
Have you ever heard of Rebecca Grizzle?
Oh, I have.
Oh, yeah. She's there. She's the crazy one there.
I think she's laughing as hard as everybody else right now with that comment. Now, Pat, how long have you been involved with the American Cancer Society locally?
I've actually been working in this area for the past, I'd say about 6 years.
Why do you do it?
Well, I'm like most people. I didn't pay a lot of attention to cancer until it touched somebody that I cared about. And then I decided that I had to do something. And so when the opportunity came along to work for the American Cancer Society, I stepped up and came on board. And I feel like what I do is for them, for those that I, like John was saying, we all know at least one, most times multiple people who've been touched by cancer. And whatever we can do to make a difference, that's what each of us can do.
Typically, how much money is raised through the Relay for Life events nationally and then here locally?
Nationally, there's like over 5,000 events, so it's millions of dollars. Locally, our event's been growing over the last couple of years, and so we're kind of toying with that 100 to 150. We're in the middle there somewhere.
$150,000 raised. Where does the money go locally?
We have, there's a lot of different ways that we use that money. One of the biggest areas is research. There, in the state of Oregon, there's a little over $5.2 million that's spent for just research. Oregon State University has 3 grants right now. University of Oregon has a couple. The rest of them are pretty much through OHSU. And we kind of consider that locally because whatever they find, we're all going to benefit from it.
People want to sign up for the Relay for Life events, either one. How do they do that?
They can go to relayforlife.org and put in their zip code, and it will give them that information so they can access the local websites, or they can call the 1-800-227-2345.
Talking to Pat Cookson with the American Cancer Society here locally in Linn, Benton County. And we are going to take a break on Valley Talk. And, we'll be right back.
When you look out across the Willamette Valley, you'll see plenty of banking choices. Willamette Community Bank is here to give you an option that's pretty unique, like no other, in fact. Hi, this is Sue Kalina, Relationship Manager. Willamette Community Bank provides an alternative to large national and regional banks by offering customized financial services and local decision-making to benefit local people, local families, and local businesses. How many banks can say that?
Willamette Community Bank, service like no other. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi folks, Jay Farner here, president of Quicken Loans. We're thrilled to have helped over 125,000 homeowners save money by refinancing with HARP. But there are millions more of you who could be saving big money on your home loans by getting HARPed. With HARP, you may be able to refinance with Quicken Loans even if your home has lost value. For example, if you owe $300,000 on your mortgage, but your home's only worth $150,000, Quicken Loans may still be able to help you get HARPed and start saving. Or if your current mortgage is higher than 3.99%, give us a call today at 800-QUICKEN. And for 3 years in a row now, J.D. Power & Associates has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Once again, if your current mortgage is higher than 3.99%, or if you owe more than your home is worth, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com.
For J.D. Power & Associates award information, visit jdpower.com. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Going out to lunch at a nice restaurant can be expensive, and the big portions put you more in the mood for a nap than a productive afternoon. Mama's Fine Italian to the rescue. The small appetite senior menu is just right. Anyone and everyone is invited to order from the Light Appetites menu for lunch from 11 to 4 p.m. with tasty entrees beginning at only $3.95. Why go hungry or go anywhere else for lunch? Eat healthy, eat light at Mama's. Closed Sunday and Monday, so make the most of Tuesday through Friday and join your friends at Mama's for lunch. Dinner only on Saturday. Mama's features charbroiled steaks every day. Make reservations for dinner or pick up a bottle of fine wine. Seating is limited, so please call for reservations. 541-451-5050. That's 451-5050. Mama's Fine Italian and Wine Shop on West Oak between Main and 2nd in Lebanon, across from the Big Blue Napa Auto Parts Building.
The Alzheimer's Network is a nonprofit organization providing compassionate support, education, and outreach to those impacted by Alzheimer's disease and other dementias in the Marion, Polk, Linn, and Benton counties. If you or someone you love needs our help, or for more information about how you can join us in helping others, please call our office at 503-364-8100 or visit us at www.alznet.org.
Valley Talk, weekday mornings on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
And Dave Adams with you on Valley Talk. You got to love live radio. Hopefully I don't sneeze here in just a little bit. I had one of those. Maybe it's the springtime of year. Pat Cookson is here with us with American Cancer Society. We're talking about Relay for Life. How can people get involved?
Well, there are a lot of ways that people can get involved. Companies can decide to sponsor the event, which gives them a little bit of marketing. They will be on all the promotional materials and all the T-shirts. You can form a team, which means that you and 8 of your closest friends or more can get together, and it's a good way to hang out on a Friday night. Or you can donate to someone who is doing Relay for Life, or just come out to the event to see what it's all about. We've got to have some food there. We'll just make sure that you'll spend some money there and support that way. So there's a lot of ways you can get involved.
When are the events again? Time, date, location, or when?
The Albany event is June the 21st through the 22nd, 4 p.m. to 10 a.m. at South Albany High School. The Lebanon event is June the 28th through the 29th at East Linn Academy, 10 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Now, since it's an overnight event, they don't have to come and stay for the entire event. They can come and go as they desire.
People can do that. We really like for our teams to come. They usually pitch a tent.
It's a party.
Yeah. There are activities going on throughout the night. We have theme laps. You can work your way back through the 70s and 80s in costume. You can wear purple. There are some really crazy activities that happen throughout the night.
Does Elvis ever show up?
Elvis has made apperances.
You really don't want to leave. I mean, you really don't want to go home.
Elvis is in the building.
Mm-hmm. And there's all sorts of good stuff.
So
ain't nothing but a hound dog.
If you have not been to Relay, this is an official invite for you to come out this year and see what it's all about.
Where can they go for more information?
Probably the best place is to go to relayforlife.org, and you can find out a listing of all of the events, and they will eventually have a schedule of what's going to happen and when, and it will give you the names of people to call. So that would be the best place.
You also have monthly meetings, right?
We do have monthly meetings. So they're the second Tuesday of each month. Albany has a meeting at a Phoenix Inn here in Albany, and Lebanon has a meeting on the second Thursday at Lebanon Community Hospital. And the general public is welcome to attend and ask all the questions.
Well, Pat, thank you for being with us on Valley Talk today.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget Honor Flight, the movie. Buy your tickets now. Bertram's Medals in Albany, and also a Lebanon Chamber of Commerce and the Pix Theater. Honor Flight, One Last Mission will be shown at the Pix in Albany, May 18th, Armed Forces Day, 1 p.m. in the afternoon at the River Center in Lebanon, the 25th of May at 1 p.m. All of the money through the ticket sales, tickets are $10 each, will go to pay for Mid-Willamette Valley World War II veterans to go to Washington, D.C. to see the honor that the nation has afforded them through the National World War II Monument. Check out the movie, honorflight.org. I'm Dave Adams. This is Valley Talk.
Locally owned and operated, this is the very independent News Talk 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.